His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Algeria, the Minister for Health, the Minister for Pharmaceutical Industry, the one and only in Africa, the Director General of the World Health Organization, the Director General of the Africa CDC, the WHO Regional Director, the Chairman of the Governing Board of the African Medicines Agency, heads of medicines regulatory agencies, our cherished partners, representatives of civil society, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Allow me to first express my sincere appreciation to the government of Algeria for its continued support to the operationalization of the African Medicines Agency, and for taking the leadership, and that is a unique leadership, in advancing Africa's vision for pharmaceutical sovereignty. Thank you so much. Today, Africa must take bold steps to secure its future health. The African Medicines Agency was established by treaty by our heads of state to support Africa's vision for health sovereignty. Our mandate at the African Medicines Agency is to strengthen national regulatory authorities, to harmonize standards, and to support every member state to assure quality, safe, and efficacious medical products that our people will depend on. Excellencies, AMA does not replace national regulators. In AMA, we aim to support them, we aim to amplify them so that no country is left behind. First of all, as we consider the future of local manufacture, Africa's next major opportunity lies in the participation of all, including clinical trials in early phases, to ensure that Africa is truly reflected in drug development, and also to ensure that the transfer of manufacturing technology for complex biological products like vaccines, biosimilars, monoclonal antibodies, and also the manufacture of critical point-of-care diagnostics. These products require extensive scientific expertise, specialized inspections, and strong post-market surveillance and quality surveillance. No single country can stand alone, and no single country should manage this alone. At the Africa Medicines Agency, we are the continental regulatory agency, and we will ensure that we provide unified scientific guidance, coordinated oversight, and a harmonized regulatory pathway that is needed to support the safe and effective technology transfer for industries across Africa. By convening continental regulatory experts from regulatory and academia, AMA will ensure that Africa does not only become a recipient of technology, but a manufacturer of sophisticated products for its own people. AMA will leverage digital tools and AI-enabled quality and safety platforms to connect researchers, regulators, manufacturers, and laboratories across Africa in one trusted digital ecosystem. Secondly, national regulators across countries must be strengthened. Otherwise, an industry's impact is not felt. A predictable continental regulatory environment is critical for local manufacturing to succeed. This means that the environment must be coherent, the regulatory system must be robust, and one in which the national authorities will apply the harmonized standards, follow similar technical requirements, and then they share their assessments so that manufacturers do not have to face multiple requirements across multiple markets. This will ensure that we rely on each other, where countries can use the assessments or inspections that have been done by other countries, and they can take a decision without having to go through it all over again. We will use our 9 and growing number of African ML3 and ML4 regulatory agencies. We will have one high-quality assessment that can support multiple decisions, and each country will retain their sovereignty over the final approval. AMA will ensure that it plays the right role to coordinate and supervise these processes using joint reviews, joint inspections, joint monitoring, so that made in Africa, medical products can be authorized more efficiently across borders with the confidence and trust that it deserves. This way, when a manufacturer manufactures a product in any African countries and wants to use it in another country, the timeline is shortened and access to critical medical products are achieved. Thirdly, what is more important is what the manufacturers themselves must do. Manufacturers in Africa must ensure that they have the ambition and it is unmatched, and they will produce uncompromisingly commitment to quality. Every manufacturer must operate with a robust quality management system, and AMA will ensure that it does not, and I repeat, it does not negate its duty to ensure that quality products are put on the continent. AMA will set up a medium and small-scale industry support office, just like exists in the European Medicines Agency, to provide early engagement opportunities to manufacturers, clear regulatory expectations, and scientific guidance to industry to ensure that they consistently meet quality standards with every manufacturing product that they put on the market. We must realize, however, that Africa cannot continue to be fragmented. Africa cannot continue to duplicate its efforts. Not every country can or should manufacture every product. We must be strategic and build regional manufacturing hubs, regional logistics for supply chain, regional laboratories, and these must be robust so that we can jointly pursue and encourage collaboration and reliance where Africa becomes more competitive rather than everybody trying to do the same thing. Africa must ensure that we also manufacture active pharmaceutical industries and raw materials. This remains a critical gap, and I'm so glad that Algeria has taken the lead in that. If we do not manufacture active pharmaceutical industries, the most critical gap in our supply chain will never be filled. Without these ingredients manufactured, our continent will always be dependent on somebody else for the ingredients that we need for manufacturing, and our strategies will remain incomplete. I am excited to be in Algeria. I have learned a lot. Algeria has shown that when you have a minister for pharmaceutical industry, the impact is huge. I have seen that Algeria has increased the number of products that it manufactures and the number of industries, and I would like all other countries to emulate this. I think a minister for pharmaceutical industry is innovative and it is visionary, and I thank Algeria for doing this. Finally, as regulators and manufacturers, we must be vigilant not only on what enters our borders, but also what leaves our borders. We must be each other's keeper. Strong regulators aligned with continental oversight and responsible manufacturers form the foundation of trust that we must build. We must build this foundation of trust so that made in Africa medical products will stand the global mark of quality. Excellencies, as more member states ratify the AMA Treaty, they expand the collective strength of this continental mechanism to ensure that Africa operates under one umbrella, under one trusted regulatory voice that is capable of supporting local manufacture at the scale that it deserves. AMA stands ready to work with member states, with stakeholders, with partners like the World Health Organization, the Africa CDC, and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area to build an enabling, harmonized, innovation-ready regulatory ecosystem that will ensure that Africa will manufacture what Africa needs, and Africa will trade in what Africa needs. Excellencies, AMA exists to make the vision of Agenda 2063 clear and to make it real. One application, one review, multiple markets. God bless Africa. Thank you for your attention. Shukran. Thank you.